So some new concerns surfacing over failing ObamaCare co-ops. A new report says that the struggling providers could leave hundreds of thousands of people without insurance, and that taxpayers would then be on the hook for that for as much as $2.4 billion. White House correspondent Kevin Corke is live at the White House to explain what's going on here with all of this. Kevin, how big a problem does this appear to be?
Boy, I tell you, Martha, it's a huge problem, and unfortunately, it appears to be getting worse by the month. And now there are two GOP lawmakers who are asking for answers to this question. How is it that over half of the so-called non-for-profit health insurance co-ops, funded by taxpayers, by the way, as a result of Obamacare, now announcing that they will not offer coverage next year? They simply want to know how in the world could that happen. New York Times reporting that it's 12 of 23. I want to show you part of a letter sent to the administration by Senators Orrin Hatch of Utah and Lamar Alexander of Tennessee. Now, in their note, they say a couple things, and I think this is also instructive. They talk about that money that you just mentioned, more than $2 billion in federal startup and solvency loans have been paid to co-ops. Massive failures of so many co-ops raise concerns about how an Affordable Care Act program that was designed to increase competition is somehow failing to do so. And so they want to know what happens, what has happened, quite frankly, Martha, and what happens now. And unfortunately, it looks like all of us, the taxpayer, could end up on the hook for that money.
So has the president addressed any of these issues, Kevin?
Not yet. He continues to say all the same things that we've heard thus far, which is, listen, you're better off because we have more competition because of Obamacare. And quite frankly, premiums, the White House will tell you, have risen at a slower and lower rate than they did before Obamacare, despite all the major issues. They do acknowledge some tweaking may be necessary. Listen carefully to how the president has been touting the program as recently as this week.
When you ask them, well, what is it that is so bothering you about people having health insurance? They can't tell you. Because originally it was, well, it's never going to work. All right, so then it started working. And then they say, well, it's going to blow up the deficit. And it's not blowing up the deficit.
Okay, well, maybe it's not blowing up the deficit. Maybe it's working for some. But clearly, broad brush, Martha, it is not working for everyone. And the taxpayers could really be on the hook for an awful lot of money. And we expect to hear a lot more on this today as we pepper questions to White House Press Secretary Josh Earnest this afternoon.
All right, we'll look forward to that. Kevin, thanks.